Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's the radioactive Papa Danny Limelight, United Wrestling Network World Heavyweight Champion. And make sure you tune into the Alliance blog every week. You heard it here first. Straight from Papa.
Okay, guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
Rules?
There are no rules.
What rules?
This is a revolution, damn it!
You'll hear things you've never heard before.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Who are those guys?
And then there's the other guys.
We're the other guys. We're the guys nobody ever bets on.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
It's time for the Other Alliance Guys podcast with your hosts, Tim, Dave, and Jeremy.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and what can we tell you? We are the Other Alliance Guys, not the good ones, the other ones. A presentation of alliance-wrestling.com, your number one source for news and information. I'll put my finger up for Jeremy, whose camera's not working. On the National Wrestling Alliance, the United Wrestling Network, TNA, and various other independents around the world. My name is Tim. I am recently redubbed Alliance North. I am joined by fantasy booker Dave Scooby. Looking forward to heading to work right after this. Right, Dave?
Unfortunately, yes.
There you go. And our friend Championship Wrestling for Jeremy, Tank Abbott was the best member of 3 Count. Change his mind.
Can't do it. You can't change it. Although it was Shane Helms, the Hurricane.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Honestly, if we ever do a gimmick, Mount Rushmore, the Hurricane's on there for me.
Terrible gimmick, but I respect the choice.
I love the Hurricane. As a comic book dork, I love the Hurricane.
Yeah. Patrick Moore, Jeremy, demands that you review UWN. It was new this week.
I do what I want.
Maybe next week, Patrick.
I do what I want. I might get back to it at some point. We'll see.
Yeah, right now you're Total Nonstop Jeremy.
That's right.
And Willie Bowen, the flag bearer of the Other Alliance Guys. Hi, guys. Tyrus has an aquaphobia. He's afraid to take showers and can't even fit into a bathtub. I mean, will Tyrus ever be given any rest by the great Willie Bowen?
No.
The Gulf of Mexico is Tyrus's hot tub.
There you go. Well, what are we talking about this week, fellas? Look, if you're here, because we got a bunch of people I can see online right now for the Midnight Reader contest, I have not had a great week, and I am going to. I'd like to be able to promote it a little bit more than I have, which is to say I didn't do anything at all. But next week, I promise, signed belt. It's behind me here, up there. Signed kids belt, that is. And not a signed copy of Adventures in Larryland, the autobiography of Larry Z. Larry Zbyszko, one of my favorite, probably top 10 wrestlers of all time. I know it's a bit weird, but there you go. I'll do that next week. I promise. But you got to be live here in the chat to answer the trivia questions. In order to grab it, and I'll ship it to you. Like I'm shipping everything else out this week. Chris Drummond won a book, and I got a whole bunch of stuff for Stan Retro, and they're finally going out this week. And probably once a month, I'll just ship everything out, so I don't have to do it every week. But let's round table before we get into talking. Thanks, Alexa. Go home. she's like a round table is before we get into talking about 77 right off the bat, we did have some cool news, and Dave told me right before the show, if I can find it. I'll go with this one first. Here, let me put my face there. Marty Bell, the great Marty Bell, former tag team partner and of Allison Kay. She won herself the NWA X's Pro Women's Championship at Watch the Throne, I think they call it.
Yep.
Which maybe we just review that next week, fellas. It's
Okay.
It was only last night it came on, I think, and I'm like, we're not going to have time. But who'd she beat for this thing?
Tiffany Nieves.
Ah, that's right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So wouldn't mind seeing her back in the NWA, even if it's just for an event or two or a taping or two.
Yeah. That would make this match more interesting if she were in it for me at 77 coming up. That we'll talk about. Think about what you could do if you had, if you were using the territories to on the same promotional level and interacting with the show guys. Like, she just beat her for the Exodus Pro ladies title, the women's title, and she's going to bring that thing to 77 and,
Go after the two
title for title. Yeah. What was that? Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, she's beat her once. She's going after another title and see if she can beat her again. And that's how you work up a good rivalry. And you have part of maybe have Valentina or Samantha Starr interfere in the match, and that's how you build a good rivalry of hey, we're battling for this. So then Marty brings somebody in. If Allison Kay is able to come in, you make it a battle with someone backing you up, and then that's how you expand the roster, at least for the time being. It doesn't have to always be a full roster, but I mean, when you have these bigger events, the big four, and I'll talk about that when I do the fantasy booking, but I mean, you have your hard times. And I mean, you have Crockett Cup, you have the anniversary show, and then Samhain. Those are the big four throughout the year.
Yeah.
Make it worth something. But just like, I mean, somebody can slip and fall and get the 3 count. It doesn't have to always be at a big show that somebody wins a title. And I'll be talking about that later on in the fantasy booking, but I mean, once the NWA figures out what they're going to do with the Roku, and if they are going to show any of their signature live events actually be live, so you can watch them. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Who knows?
I see this. I was hesitant to put it up because I didn't hear anything about this. I just looked it up in the background, assuming it's on MSN.com. But Buff Bagwell had his leg amputated, apparently.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, he had surgery, something done with his leg. Something happened with his leg or something.
Yeah.
And much like Jannetty, just never healed.
Right. Yeah, that's what he's saying in the article here. That's a shame. Yeah, for sure, David. We'll certainly keep him in our thoughts. That is rough. He had an upside that never extended beyond WCW, I guess, Dave, that I know that he was briefly in WWE for a while and just, had that tryout and it didn't work out. And we kind of saw the slow decline of Buff Bagwell after that. But I always thought he was good on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you guys think of him?
He was good on the mic. He had the Buff Bagwell character. He was that character. I believed him in that. in that little bit, he was decent in the ring, but he was. I don't. He was more wrestling, more throwback to wrestling, and he fit that Southern style a lot better than that corporate New York structure.
Right. He always struck me as a great first tier heel. Like, you got to have those guys that you can run through when you're aiming at the NWO, for example, right? He kind of had that Royce Isaacs, twirly mustache sort of vibe.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that about Buff. Hey, you dingleberry pickers. It's Double D.
Last time I jumped on a trampoline, I hoisted my little brother up to suplexing, and right at the pinnacle of right at the arc, as we went to come back, he freaked out, balled up in a ball, and broke my nose.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, I laughed my ass off about it. It was hilarious.
We have a friend who was jumping on the bed as a kid, and his brother pushed him in midair, and he landed on one of the 4 posts.
Oh!
Yeah. Surgery and everything. Our friend, John Ceramic. Fuzzy. So good to see your name up there, my friend. It's been too long. I hope we get to connect. It'll be 2026 by the next time, probably the earliest I'll get down there. But I'm so happy to have you here. Let us know if you're going to 77. I'm not going there. I don't know that any of us are, but are you going, Dave? Did you decide?
I was looking to go, but like I said, the toll roads to get there.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's almost $140 for toll.
Good Lord.
Yep.
Just insane.
Going up through New Jersey and into New York.
Yeah.
It's close to $70. It's like $68.50 to and from.
Great. Yeah, no thank you. So we mentioned that, I swear I added it to the thing here, but we mentioned that I'll come back to it. Dave, tell me what you told me before the show about Danny Limelight, our buddy Danny Limelight of the UWN.
Yeah, he was recently in a triple threat match with Zilla Fatu and Ryan Davidson at Reality of Wrestling in Texas, and he is now the new ROW champion. He's dealing with Booker T, and Booker T has ties to the WWE. I don't know if I could see Danny going to WWE size-wise, but WWE just acquired AAA, and Danny can hang with the cruiserweight Lucha Libre guys. So I wouldn't be surprised if down the line you could possibly see Danny Limelight in a AAA ring. Fingers crossed. I mean, the guy can wrestle. We know that.
Yeah, see Danny Limelight anywhere.
Yep.
That guy's amazing. You see Danny Limelight anywhere big, Jeremy, in his future? He's 33.
I think that at that, with the age that you see individuals now, he's still got a lot of grease in the act and the bearing, and I'd like to see him pop up in NXT. I think it was you that said possibly like AAA would be a good fit for him. AEW would be another good fit for him. Ring of Honor. I know that he recently dropped the UWN title to Jordan Cruz. So I'm curious as to what's next for him in the UWN. I know that he has a lot of acting gigs. He just posted that he's got another short that he's beginning or in production on or pre-production or something. So he's turning into a raconteur of sorts. So he may not be long for the wrestling world if the acting picks up.
Yeah, stuntman work too, I think, right?
Yeah. Fight choreography, stunt work.
You think you had a bad day? Wow, that's rough. Yeah, he's great. Congrats to Danny Limelight. That's amazing, and friend of the Alliance, of course. We were just saying before the show, we got to change out the opening thing. Danny's no longer the UWN champ, but that guy came on this show and remained 100% kayfabe the whole time about how much he hated Slice Boogie.
Right.
It took me a minute to go, okay, we're doing it this way, kind of come around, but good for him. Big Chris Dog. Limelight did a cash-in, he says, like Seth Rollins, but in ROW.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. That's great. Marty Bell, Danny Limelight, Camille and Tom. What's going on there, Dave?
They are starting a new wrestling school in Florida, and it's called the Redemption Wrestling Academy. I'm not sure of a lot of the details, but I do know that Tom at one time was helping Sam Shaw, Dexter Loomis, with his Hatchet Pro Wrestling. But they're starting a school, and I mean, both Tom and Camille, I mean, they've been around. They know what's up. That they'll put you through the ringer, and I mean, they were both taught by people that know what's going on. I mean, Camille was part of the 3D Team Academy, being taught by Bubba and Devon. So I mean, she has experience. She knows what they're looking for, both on the indie scene and on TV. So same thing with Tom, that they'll be able to pass along their knowledge, and I'm hoping it's something that down the line, I mean, Tom still has a few more years in the business, but if for some reason he just decides to step away, he'd be a great teacher. And I think they're basically setting things up for down the line when both of them either choose not to wrestle full-time anymore, that they have something that they can bank on.
Yeah, and she's doing, I understand, for this fall, the release, the reboot of American Gladiators.
Yep. They finished up filming, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they're going to be going out, doing some promotion for it. And if they do like they did back in the day, if it brings a swell, then they go out and they have live events where they'll go to, let's say they decide to go to LA. They'll have tryouts for opponents, and then they'll have like a week's worth of live shows that you can go watch, and they'll have people from the area go against the actual gladiators. So we'll see what happens. I mean, who knows?
I figured like when I read the article, they used her real name, Kaylee Farmer, I think, and billed her in the show as Kaylee Farmer. But I'd said like Camille and AEW and NWA and that type of stuff. I hope they bill her as Camille, because that'll help her wrestling career, and that's her character. And best of luck to not only Camille, who I'm not a big fan of women's wrestling. I never have been. Man, she was fun to watch. Just held that company together right after Thunder Rosa held that company together. And one of the best matches I ever saw was at 75 right there with her and Markova. But yeah, Fuzzy says the oral history of those live shows for American Gladiators on the Netflix documentary are crazy. I meant to watch it. I haven't watched it.
It's so fucking good. Watch
Is
it.
it?
It is wild.
I see Ice, I think her name was, on and she pops up in my YouTube feed all the time as some crazy bodybuilding. She looks fantastic.
Yeah.
She's got to be late 50s. Yeah. What else? Oh, yeah, I guess before we get to 77. That's something else. Yeah, wife went out and couldn't find anything to watch. Just sitting at home watching my favorite show with a box of Kleenex. Anyway, or an old sock. I don't judge you.
Jesus.
What was I saying? Oh, the other thing. Hey, I don't get to talk to Gary Horn very much. But I love the stuff Gary Horn produces. It is Gary Horn's birthday. Happy birthday to you, Gary Horn of This Is Pro Wrestling Now and formerly the NWA podcast. He's back together with the Bearded Trio. That guy's a good dude. And got to meet him a couple of years ago. And happy birthday, Gary, if you're out there and happen to be watching. Yeah, man. Many, many more. What was the last? Oh, NWA 77. Let's talk about NWA 77.
Okay.
National Wrestling Alliance, right?
Yep.
Presents NWA 77 August 16th. This one just seemed to creep up on me. Where's the promotion with this thing? Is this it here? Here it is. At the Paramount, Huntington, New York. I believe that's out on the island, correct me, Devin, if that's not near you. Are you heading to this thing? 77th anniversary show. I think it's probably about the 15th anniversary show they've already done, but 77th anniversary of the Alliance itself. We're here to go through the matches, and I'm gonna ask you guys what you think. And here we go. Do we know anything about the Universal Heartthrob Invitational Gauntlet yet, guys? Dave, have you heard anything?
Just that they're having it. I mean, there's no listed wrestlers or an explanation of what it actually is. So, I mean, they have Austin Idol, so use him for what they can. But it'd be nice if they explain it. But I mean, if this is going to be shown as episodes of Power, I'm looking at October, maybe November, depending on what goes on, because they have tapings coming up in September, the first week of September. So
yeah,
who knows how far behind they'll be. And I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know. This is a big question mark. And I mean, it's just.
Well, that's something I should have mentioned at the top of the show, because you're going to talk about how they need to be talking about title changes now when they happen, not down the road later in the show. But I don't know, Jeremy. What do you think is going to happen here? Just everyone who's not on the card is going to show up and do a gauntlet and win a trophy?
We're going to be introduced to Austin Idol's third illegitimate child, Dion. That's what's going to happen with this invitational gauntlet. No, it's the NWA. We've been doing this show for a while now, not as long as the Alliance blog has been doing it, but we've been doing this for a while now, and promotion and the lack of leading up to their big events like this has been a problem since day one. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, once we got past the 10 pounds of gold stage, and you know, he was doing a weekly show. Promotion for the big shows just kind of. You'll learn about it when we figure it out, type of deal, which is usually a week before. So,
I mean, we shouldn't have to walk in, to your point, a week before is it the 16th? It's the 16th. So
it's not even going to be a week, but so we're just I should have let me rephrase that. We'll find out everything that's going on the week leading up to the event, because that's usually how it plays out.
Yeah, and we definitely shouldn't have to, as you know, presumably people who are watching Power or the NWA product in different forms, you know, like it should say the Heartthrob, the Universal Heartthrob Invitational Gauntlet, you know, and have you're going to see Gags the Gimp and Frank and Max and blah 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 blah. They're going to win a gauntlet, and the last person standing is going to win the cup, and that gives them a shot at whatever. There should be some explanation if you're throwing everybody into like a big pot and just saying, you know, no one else who has a match. Tell me who's in it, and like try to get something out of it if you're this far late in the game. But yeah, this should all have been set up earlier.
On the flip side of that, though, do something original. We've already got the Owen Hart Invitational, the Andre the Giant thingy with WWE. MLW has the Heart Cup or whatever in the hell it is. Do something original, man.
Yeah, do something original. You know, a few years ago, I came up with an idea. If anyone from the NWA is watching, you can have this. Take two teams, make two teams of, say, 5 or 6, and do a team event where, you know, Survivor kind of style, right? Whether it's like a ladder match, whether it's, you know, a battle royal, whatever it might be, week to week to week. And the losing team has to eliminate one person from their roster. But that one person that gets eliminated gets to challenge anyone else on their team for their spot every week on that match.
I fucking like that.
If I can watch it, right?
I would honestly watch that.
Yeah.
Because there's so many ways that you could take that and spin that around even.
I don't want anything for it other than for you guys to call Dave Scooby and give him a booking interview. That's all. That's what I want out of this. What's next? What's next on on that card? This one is maybe the most interesting one in a way.
Yes.
Hammerstone versus Kerry Morton, Dave. They build it on the website as Battle of the Heavyweights. I don't know that that's the case.
I mean, unless Kerry's juicing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, granted, I know Kerry wants to step out from being the junior heavyweight, but there's no crime in being a junior heavyweight.
Yeah.
But if okay, can you put up the spoiler?
Oh yeah, I will.
Okay, I'll just give them a few seconds
because I'm
going to spoil something that hasn't been shown yet. But when Hammerstone was fighting Thrillbilly, Kerry interfered in the match, and that's why this match is taking place.
Okay.
So I'm looking at it as Hammerstone. It's basically a revenge match because at Crockett Cup, Kerry interfered, so Thrillbilly ended up winning that match.
Okay. I'll keep the spoiler up for a second, but I'm not actually asking you, but I'll ask you. What if your television is 3 months behind? Then what are you saying the reason for this match is if you're the NWA?
Who knows? They're just it's. I think they're just. I don't know if it's a, hey, don't ask, don't tell. I don't know. But it's one of those things. I mean, all I'm looking at, I saw this and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a revenge match. And who is Thrillbilly in a match with? He's in a match with Tom Latimer for the championship. Well, in my mind, all I'm thinking is, if Kerry Morton wins, it's by underhanded tactics. But then, could Hammerstone then possibly interfere in the 10 pounds of gold match? And that ensures a Latimer win. And then he goes, hey, I helped you keep that belt. Give me a shot at it before he moves on to something big and better.
Right.
If he does move on, that's cool. We got a couple good shows out of him. If he doesn't, we can keep the story going.
Right.
But that's the thing. They're so far behind. There's no explanation for why certain matches are taking place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just hurting. And like I've said before, and I'll say it again tonight, 4 to 6 weeks is the most time that I would allow between taping and showing something.
Right.
That if you do a taping and there's a 45-minute show, a taping is usually 4 hours. So that's basically 4 to 5 hours, or 4 to 5 hours is basically at least 4 to 5 shows, maybe 6. If you have recaps, if you have interviews, however they decide to do it. But it's one of these things of they need to pick and choose what they show. And I'll talk about it later, but it's one of these things that just irks me. That, I mean, Kerry Morton, I'm all for him moving up, but he's trying to move at the speed of light. He is a junior heavyweight now. Unless he grows a couple more inches and gains maybe 30 to 40 pounds, he's not a heavyweight.
You're looking at this wrong. Kerry Morton is the son of Ricky Morton, and we all know what kind of hog that man was toting around. That's where they're getting the heavyweight for him.
Wow.
I saw Ric Flair once get interviewed, and they said, like, were you with the most women out of any, wrestling talent? He's like, no, it's Ricky.
No. Ricky Morton looked like a baby arm holding an apple.
Holding an apple.
But I mean, I'm looking at, Kerry Morton, it'll be an interference thing. And because there has to be. Logically, I don't see Kerry Morton being able to take over Hammerstone.
Right. We are done with the spoilers, Fuzzy. We're good. I took the thing off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who you got in this one, guys. What do you say, Jeremy? Who do you? He's muted. Who do you got for this, Dave?
I'd like to see Hammerstone, but you don't know where he's going or if he's going.
Yeah.
So if they can build up some people, Thrillbilly. Who is Thrillbilly beat to get a shot at Tom? Nobody.
Right.
So I see some underhanded tactics, and Kerry pulls out a win. But I'd love to see Hammerstone basically give him the finger and screw with the Thrillbilly Latimer match.
Yeah.
That's just the booker in me.
What was it? Gary Horn used to call Hammerstone Meat Mountain. King of Meat Mountain or some shit like that.
Yep.
Hammerstone's a great fit for Billy Corgan's NWA.
Yep.
I would throw money at him. I would find out what Court Bauer was throwing at him monetarily wise, and offer him the same damn thing for a far lighter schedule. And that's saying something, because MLW has a pretty light schedule, but that's somebody that you could build a program between him and Tom that would put asses in the seats.
Yep.
And he would be a good champion to put the belt on down the road.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Chris Gallegos, welcome to the show. Just do me a favor, keep it clean. I'm not going to put that comment up. Joe is a friend of the show, is a friend of the Alliance. You got to understand the gimmick beyond the KFC reference. That it's more of a equally as much as a Colonel Tom Parker kind of thing than anything else, but almost a Boss Hogg kind of. Now that I say about it, but yeah, man, don't write stuff like that. I'm not talking about Joe. I'm talking about the other comment.
I like the Boss Hogg comparison. That's pretty spot on.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. That's after Hammerstone. Jeremy, we got an NWA World Women's Television title match as Tiffany Nieves. She defends that title against, well, for me, a fairly almost complete unknown in Serena Vale. What do you think about this booking?
I wasn't Serena Vale one of the ones that we saw in Crossfire, that we saw Kenzie wrestle. She's good. This should be a good match, especially if they've got a ring that's not about to collapse into the wall.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, jokes aside, I was impressed with that match that we saw her in. So I look forward to this. This one should be good, especially with Marty in there. Marty's fantastic. So
yeah, I mean, if Marty's got the title that, like we were saying at the top of the show.
No, Tiffany, my bad. Tiffany. Yeah, that's Tiffany. Still, Tiffany's great too.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Dave? Too bad it's not Marty, but good opportunity.
That's a down the line thing. I mean, we're already 2 to 3 months behind, so who knows what can happen if Marty is able to come in a little later down the line. Maybe it's Samhain in October. That'd be good. But I mean, that's what they need to do. Is I mean, they bring in outsiders. They don't have to always be on the NWA roster. That if they're in the territories, use them, then lose them. If it works out and you're able to keep them, that's cool. But
yeah,
there's really no need to expand your roster when you're not live. Use the people out on the territories, and there's a lot more men and a lot more tag teams out on the territories than there are women, but use the women that you have.
Right.
And then every once in a while, bring in somebody to give them a little bump. I wouldn't mind seeing Natty come back if Kenzie is still the champion. Have her come back and go after Kenzie if Kenzie is still the champion. Have Natty go after her. Do a first blood match at Samhain. That's the spooky one.
Well,
that would fit right in. Boom.
Okay.
We're gonna get to that one right after. I got two or three more to go. But Jeremy's favorite wrestler, Brian Idol, the NWA World Television Title match against Joe Ocasio. Like I always liked Joe back when Power was, a few years ago, and we got to see a little bit of Joe there, and I know he was training people in his own facility, and anyway, he's a decent talent, but What do you think, Jeremy? Is your guy Brian Idol going to keep the title here?
Oh, more than likely. He's fucking Billy's poster boy for failing upwards. So, yeah, he's going to hold on to that title for a while. I figure. It isn't Ocasio the one that was with. Oh shit! Who was the original? Who was Scion? All Ego.
Yeah, Ego.
Robert Anthony.
Yeah. Isn't Ocasio who was with him?
Yep, I believe he is a Chicago talent.
He looks like, in that picture, he looks like he's added on some size.
Yeah.
I remember, if that's the same one, I thought he was a junior heavyweight. He looks like he's packed on some size, so I could be thinking of somebody completely different. My brain don't work all the time always, so
it's another, again, it's a problem of TV's behind. There's no build, you know. If you're turning into NWA and you have some, you're like, isn't that where Tom Latimer and you know, then you don't know who Serena Vale or Joe Ocasio is. It's unfortunate, but that'd be good to see live. I think Dave probably that Brian will retain the title here.
Oh yeah.
And he's not a bad wrestler. We kind of shit on him a little bit, but he's not a bad wrestler.
And I mean, it's one of these things that, I mean, Jay was talking about bounce the TV title around after 3 or 4 defenses, maybe have an upset here or there. That's cool and all, but doing the TV title, even somebody having a shot at a TV title, that ups your ante. So it's one of these things that Joe Ocasio, he can at least say, hey, I had a shot at the TV title. I had a shot at the junior heavyweight title, or I had a tag partner and we were at the Crockett Cup. All that ups their value down the line. So we'll just see what happens. I mean, right now, they're so far behind, at least 2 months, 3 months behind on what's happening in real life, that you don't know who's going for the titles and who actually has a title.
Right.
And it's one of these things of it's the curse that if this was back in the 80s and we didn't have the internet and you didn't go look at the dirt sheets, it'd be great.
Yep.
Now the dirt sheets are a click away. Everything's live. I mean, as soon as somebody wins a title, it's on Twitter, it's on Facebook, it's big news.
I know you're talking about it later about how they got to catch up, but I did notice today on the NWA website, which I did find eventually. But they're listing the title change for Idol and for Carson Drake, the update there. So
nice.
Anyway, but so I don't know. Maybe they're doing something right. World Tag Team title match: Knox and Murdochs versus the Holy Grail, PB Smooth and EC3, the Overlord. I don't know. What do you think of this one, Jeremy?
If you take both of those belts and stack them on top of each other, they're still not as tall as PB Smooth's bob head. But it should be a damn good match, though. While I crack jokes about that monument that is PB Smooth's forehead, him and EC3 are a good tag team. And it's Murdoch's. I mean, those guys have been tagging for a couple of years now, and they're almost like brothers. It seems like whenever it comes to tag team mentality. They're very smooth and everything. So I foresee a really good match here. Another one that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
I know you like Murdoch, Dave, and I'm sure Mike Knox is growing on you like he did on me. I didn't even know who he was when he first showed up.
Oh yeah.
But this feels to me like a title change time after, probably a year and a half of these guys as champions or more.
Yeah, I mean, new champions, it would be good, but I'll talk about title changes later on in the fantasy booking. But I mean, EC3 and PB Smooth, they've only been a team for a while now.
Yeah.
They need to be, I mean, granted, they're being pushed, and I know EC3 has Exodus Pro and all, but I think it's just it's too soon. That they need to build up a rivalry. And I mean, it's
I like it crunchy.
that is just so wrong.
Fudge, no. It's a no. It's a big no from Fuzzy.
It's a no from Fuzzy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it is just a little too early. That I like what they're doing, using EC3 to bring somebody along for the ride. And this will be a good test, size-wise, for both of these guys. And I mean, see if PB Smooth can work with somebody the size of Mike Knox and the size of Trevor. But I mean, it's just it's hard for me to believe it's time for a change of the title belt yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it's I'll win. Maybe give them another run and say, hey, that there's a wonky finish at 77 and they want a rematch.
Yeah.
Or they go to, they bitch about something, or there's even a rematch at Exodus Pro and they win the titles there.
I like Saw Win because that gives you the opportunity for like some major fuckery here at 77. And Saw Win's that hardcore style pay-per-view where you can just have nonsense happen all over the place.
Yep.
But I'm glad that you mentioned Saw Win because when I mentioned that the NWA updated their webpage, that's a great sign. They also did something else I found today, guys. They got a poster out. Friday, October 17th, they're back in for Saw Win in Atlanta. So they're booking that now. Yeah. And they got Max on the poster, and I don't care what you guys say about Max. I like Max.
I like Max, too.
I mean, I stayed away for a long time from the NWA, but Max, there's still an upside there, I think. But anyway. Okay. What else? Let me see. There are a couple other matches. World Junior. You got Alex Taylor taking on one of my I really like Rich Swann, and I saw him in Toronto at MLP two and a half months ago, whatever. He was the first match of the night. He took on ELP, I think, if I remember correctly. Man, this cat can go. He's so much fun. And I don't know, Dave, it feels like an Alex Taylor title defense, a successful title defense to me, but just because Rich Swann's not an NWA-centric guy.
And I mean, I've heard that, okay, he's working TNA or he's working here. He's a floater. He'll go wherever there's money to be made. And it's one of these things that, I mean, Alex Taylor, very good wrestler, but he's lost in the sauce. He's part of a group that they're trying to push, but they can't push truly because they're all going separate directions. And I mean, he and Kerry are a tag team.
Yeah.
But it's not known that they're a tag team. And he hasn't really defended the junior heavyweight title. So, I mean, even if you put it on Rich Swann for a couple months and then take it off of him, put it on somebody that Rich Swann can do the flips and dips and all that, but he's also a very technical wrestler as well.
Yeah.
So, if anything, this just gives the junior heavyweight title more recognition, that you could see Rich Swann maybe in MLP with a junior heavyweight defense, or you could see him showing up and they may not reference it, but he has that belt. That
Right.
Anywhere he goes, he will be known as the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, whether it's in the NWA or on an indie. And I mean, he wrestles 3 to 4 times a month. So if he can get out there, that'd be good for the NWA. Plus, he could also do a tour of the territories. It'd be somebody new. And like I had said about going out on the territories, if your champions go out there, that's a way to see who contenders are out there and who could possibly be moved up to the main roster down the line. Who has the rub? Who has a chance of moving on from Crossfire or moving on from Duke City Wrestling? It's one of those things that you never know who your next big star is going to be until you give them a shot.
It's true, and I did put it up, but Fuzzy says Rich Swann and Markova on the Crossfire ad in late October. That's great. So I'm glad he's sticking.
And I mean that may be a sign of, hey, it's a picture of him. It doesn't say current champion because he's not the current champion, but down the line, who knows?
Yeah. Chris Galegas, NWA and World Class should have struck a deal in '85 to bring Chris Adams and Gino Hernandez. A lot of trouble with that, I think. Just beyond trying to get them out of Texas, like the drugs and the alcohol alone would have been an insurmountable issue there, I think. Yeah, they're not doing anything. AEW is not doing anything with Camille, but she is under contract. She's under an NDA, where she can't talk about what's going on over there. But she is on, as we were talking about at the top here, she is on American Gladiators coming out this fall. She's a gladiator, so I'm glad to see that she's doing well. We got 2 more matches, I think, after World Juniors. The World Women's Championship title match, Kenzie Page, who has been champion since NWA 75, versus Natalia Markova, who has been denied her championship title reign since before 75.
Yep.
And I'm sure she's not pissed off about it. She seems to be one of the in people around the NWA. She's everywhere. Yeah. Around the territories in the NWA. Dave, is it time for Natalia Markova, the Crush, to become NWA World Women's Champion?
I think, in my opinion, it is time for some new blood. Kenzie's done a great job, but coming up on 2 years, like you said, Markova, she's been very loyal. She's been a good soldier. She's done whatever has been asked of her. Give her a short 6 to 9 month run and help build up some either new contenders, or Kylie comes after Markova for revenge.
Yeah.
And that way, I mean, that builds up Kylie. Who knows where Kenzie is going? But it seems like a lot of the wrestlers that are moving on, they've done just about everything. There's only so much you can do, unless you want to be like, a 13-time Intercontinental Champion, Well, if you're a 13-time, that means, yeah, you won it 13 times, but you lost it 12 times.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, you have Camille the one time. Kenzie can always come back and win it again. Or let her sister Kylie go after it and then have a battle of the sisters before Kenzie moves on to bigger and better things. Which I think her going against Natty opened up a lot of people's eyes. And, I mean, Kenzie's still young. She has 10, 15 years ahead of her, if not more.
Yeah.
You can always move on, and even if it's a short stint, whether it be AEW or she moves on and actually does WWE or TNA, to be able to get up there is something. That you started out on the lower level, you move your way up. She can always come back to the NWA if things don't work out.
She is 23 years old.
She has plenty of time.
Wow.
She has a good 15, 20 years, depending on conditioning and how she takes care of her body.
Yeah. That's amazing, because I know she's been wrestling for a while, and 23 now. That means she's 21 when she won the world women's title. Amazing. But she is Crossfire, basically, I think, right?
Yep.
She's moved to that. I don't know. I don't know if she moves on or not, but I don't know. What do you think of this? Is it time for Jeremy, for Natalya to take the title? Oh, good point.
I think Natalya is better chasing than holding. At this point, we've seen her go after it multiple times with Kai or with Kenzie. We've seen her. We saw her multiple times against Camille. She's good in the hunt. I do agree with Dave that she should get it at some point, but it shouldn't be a long one. Maybe 6 months on TV.
Yeah.
You know, but in the same instance, I had forgotten that Kenzie's had that since 75. So we're coming up on 2 years now. That's a substantial little reign right there. And you know, I would keep it on Kenzie, but not for much longer.
Fuzzy says it's now or never for Markova. I kind of remember saying that 2 years ago.
Yeah. If you ask Noob, she'll always be the champion, and yeah. But I love her for that.
Should never lose. Yeah, that's right. The number one Natalya fan. And then, of course, your main event, the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship title match between Tom Latimer, your NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, versus the Thrillbilly Silas Mason. Jeremy, what do you think, man? Is it time? I hate to ask the same question every time, but is Mason that guy? Thinking. Kenzie's a fat
Mason is that guy. Mason is that guy. And I hate to say this because I really like Tom. Mason has a level of charisma and presence about him. You're more, for me, Silas seems like the type of person you hear him 15 minutes before he makes his way into the room type of individual.
Right.
This isn't the WWE or AEW or TNA Hell, this isn't even Ring of Honor or Raw for that matter. This is the NWA at the moment. And no disrespect to the NWA, but you're not. It's not a top tier, mid tier. It's a low level promotion at this moment. Take the fucking chance with the man. He's young. He's full of fucking piss and vinegar. He's great on a mic. He has presence. He is the Thrillbilly. Give it to him. What's the worst that's going to happen?
What do you think, Dave?
Well, I mean, I agree with a lot of what Jeremy was saying, but I mean, we haven't seen a build up to this, and that's the only bad thing. That I think it's too early for Thrillbilly. There hasn't been a build up that we know of for Thrillbilly to win. Well, I mean, I like Tom as a wrestler and as champion. He's been doing good. But you need the evil, the king of all evil. You need the bad Tom Latimer going against Thrillbilly, who they need to just, if Pollo shows up to help him win, that's what I would do.
That's not a terrible idea.
All is forgiven. I don't think, because I mean, the story isn't there yet of Thrillbilly being a champion. At any time he's had a championship, he's given it up and it's gotten him nowhere.
Yeah.
That if they built it correctly and he went after Tom with maybe 5 or 6 wins under his belt, I could say yes, definitely. But there hasn't been a build-up that we have been able to see yet. I haven't looked on Cage Match to see what his win record is, but they don't know what they're doing with the Southern Six. It started off as quote-unquote a group of wrestlers, and it was a joking thing. Oh, we're the Southern Six. There's only 3 of us, though. They're a tag team. They're a junior heavyweight champion. And then there's Thrillbilly, who could be the holder of the 10 pounds of gold, but does he deserve it?
Could he be? Maybe, yeah.
You can always give it to him and see what happens organically, but then what happens? Who comes after Thrillbilly? Does Kerry get jealous and, oh, I'm a heavyweight now, and then they go after each other and the Southern Six break up? Who else goes after Thrillbilly? There's really none. They haven't built hardly anybody up unless you break up Murdoch's and then Trevor ends up going after him and gives him a win. Mike Knox goes after him and gives him a win to build him up. They really haven't built up contenders, so that's my only worry.
If you think about it, like I say, there is a precisely. I'm happy to be wrong, by the way. 0% chance that he takes the title.
I agree.
Yeah. I think but if you look back to, forget the greats of the NWA World's Heavyweight title. Like, I mean, the legends, the icons. Forget all that. That's amazing, and the grandfather of all titles. But if you go back in recent times to like just the past 7-8 years, you have names who win the title, and with the exception of Aldis and Cody. Well, Cody didn't repeat, so only Aldis. So you've had Cody, who the NWA caught a little fire with that the first All In. You had Aldis, who had a name in TNA. You had Murdoch, right? He's a former WWE name. You had Cardona, who was former WWE and king of the goddamn indies. You have names. Murdoch also had a second reign as well. Was better than his first. Tyrus, say what you want about Tyrus and you'll be right, but that was a name that was put on the belt, right? Latimer was a name that got put on the belt. And EC3 also a name that has to have the title. Mason's not a name. And I would love to see the organic rise, Dave, that you kind of fantasy book there. I think that'd be amazing, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's what did you say? Thrill's been in an HR meeting, a game store, in the big meeting with KFC Kazana, and nothing since then. You got to have somebody, like, if it was, I don't know, because they've had some big names before, like Sam Shaw showing up and at whatever that was that wasn't 75. It was when Cardona vacated the title. Murdoch won. That was 2020. Always Ready. It was the Matt Cardona pay-per-view, right? And you get someone showing. Karrion Kross has been, released. We hear today from WWE, and not this time around. But if it's a year from now and things haven't gone Kross's way, and the NWA can throw some money at that dude, that's a name that you would want to maybe put the title on. And I think that's been the way it's gone for all of this time. That's it. That's going to be what your NWA 77 anniversary show looks like. Probably whatever else they throw together. They're still advertising Colby Carino. I don't think that's just someone hasn't taken it off of the website yet. But anyway, that's interesting. And what else is interesting is a segment we like to call, those cameras not working right now, so you can't see him pointing at himself. It's Championship Wrestling from Jeremy with Championship Wrestling from Jeremy.
Attention, everyone. One.
School is in session.
Oh, boy, is this great!
Let me talk to you.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
It's time for Championship Wrestling from Jeremy.
Or Total Nonstop Jeremy, if you prefer right now. What's going on, man, in the world of TNA right now?
Oh, so much is going on right now. I have such wonderful things to talk about in the world of Total Nonstop Action. We got the episode from this past Thursday, August the 7th. The show opens with TNA champion Trick Williams walking to the ring with the crowd in unison chanting, "Whoop that Trick." He started off by telling the crowd the debacle last week with KC hitting him with the crutch will be addressed later on. He also reminded the crowd about his title defense and emergence against Moose, announced by Santino last week. And he then goes on to say that he is going to beat Moose's ass if he keeps talking trash. He'll beat Moose's ass in front of his mama. He starts talking about Moose's family having bobbleheads. And come emergence, he's going to find Moose's family in the crowd. And at this point, he fumbled this line, but he said he's going to take a hammer and pretend like it's Groundhog Day. What he should have said was whack-a-mole. You whack moles with a hammer. You look at the groundhog's shadow. So I don't know what the fuck he was thinking there. But that's why he's not on the main roster yet. But this brought Moose out, and as it should have. You talk about somebody's mama, they got to come out. You know how it is.
I do.
But Trick asked if Moose felt offended by being called a bobblehead. Moose responded by hitting Trick with a mic and going for a spear. Trick slipped out of the ring before contact, making his way up the ramp. We then see a returning Gia Miller speaking with Gabby LaSpisa. Gia took a moment to address Tessa, and she did not hold back. She stated that she's tried to be professional with Tessa, as has everyone. But when Tessa does come back to the TNA, if she puts her hands on Gia again, Gia will fucking kill her. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gia does have training. She is trained in wrestling, so there is a possibility we could see something down the road. But she just kept it moving and went right on to why she was actually there, and she welcomed her guest, Joe Hendry. Joe says he's happy to see Gia back, and then talked about his upcoming match with Mustafa Ali in the main event. Sami Callihan and Mike Santana are then shown backstage, and they talk about their upcoming match. Right about that time, Eric Young and the Northern Armory walk up. EY says he's there to talk to the failure Mike Santana, and Santana needs to think about the fact that while he was in high school, EY was doing business in TNA and getting the job done, and TNA needs a cleanse. Mike felt both his TNA family and his family. Didn't set well with Santana. Frankie Kazarian is then shown coming out to the commentary desk and says that he has the backing of the TNA president, Carlos Silva, and he's there to call the action for Jake Something and Steve Macklin's International Championship match. Commentary team was not happy about this at all. Kept telling him to shut the fuck up. It was hilarious. We go right to the match with Jake Something versus Steve Macklin.
Sorry. Who are you to question, El Dandy?
It is purely homage. It is purely homage, Double D. Purely homage.
Oh, man.
But this match, the match was was a non sequitur. Honestly, the match was just there to build upon Frankie and set the foundation for the fact that he is in some sort of cahoots, or him and TNA president Carlos Silva have some sort of relationship. And it also helped to establish a building rivalry between Something and Macklin for the title. Something is a good upper mid card talent that could, and in my opinion, should make the move to the main event scene before long. This match ended with a double count out as both men continued to punch each other outside, or on the ring apron and then on the floor, while ignoring the ref's count. Security came out to break them up, and Macklin was not happy as he pulled a tope suicida onto the crowd of security and Something. There was another pull apart, and the crowd went nuts. We then cut to backstage, and Step-to-Lander and Mance Warner were knocking on Santino's office door. Step opened the door and saw that Santino wasn't there, and grabbed a very Randy Manser by the scruff of the neck and pulled him into the office, closing the door behind them. We then get a tag match between Xia Brookside and Lei Ying Lee versus M and Heather by Elegance with a personal concierge. Xia and Lee's lack of reps as a tag team were evident throughout the entire match, as Heather and M operated like a well-oiled machine. Heather and Lei Ying worked a spot that saw Heather focusing on moves and holds, targeting Lei Ying's shoulders, as Lei Ying uses a helicopter facebuster as her finisher. The concierge and Xia did a good job of working the crowd up during this time, and when Lei Ying was finally able to make the hot tag, the crowd was on fire and popped quite well. The finish saw Lei Ying hoist the much taller M by Elegance up for said helicopter facebuster for the win, and she spun her quite a few times, actually. while M ate the pin, it cannot be overlooked that one half of the women's tag champs was involved in the match, and this could lead to them possibly having a number one contenders claim down the road. It was a good bit of tag action here. The crowd was very happy with the outcome. I look forward to what's in store for the TNA women's tag division as it's stacked right now with legit contenders. We then go back to Santino and his daughter walking to his office, unknowing that Mance and Steph turned it into their own private hillbilly hump shack. Pretty sure I heard a goose and at least two goats alongside Mance and Steph's grunts of ecstasy. We then cut to Ash by Elegance berating Heather and M for their loss to Xia and Li Ying on the night she is set to challenge JCJ for the TNA Women's Tag Championship. We then get an emergency edition of the First Class Penthouse with AJ Francis and KC Navarro. After introductions, KC is given the opportunity to address the crowd and tell them he is going to be out for a while due to tearing his ACL. AJ says that while that is not good for KC, much like the NFL, First Class operates on the next man up ideology. And with that, AJ Francis welcomed back into the First Class fold the returning Rich Homie Swann, who has not been seen in TNA for a year. Last time he was seen was August of last year. And then he was suspended for public intox charge, and then they just allowed his contract to expire out. And you talked about this earlier, and I'm going to echo it. Swann is a great wrestler. I hope he's taking advantage of the time away to get everything in order and get clean and everything, and get refocused on what he is damn good at doing, and that's fucking wrestling. Fantastic wrestler, great on the mic.
Yeah.
Just hiccups in life, man. Shit happens. But I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see him back. I didn't know about him popping up in the NWA or Crossfire, so he's keeping himself busy on top of that. So that's good.
Amazing.
That's really good. At BNS, he is a former WWE talent. Maybe he was able to take advantage of their wellness policy thing, which they extend to all former talents. So we then go to a match with Mara Sade versus Vicious Vicky. This was a showcase match for the newly arrived Sade, coming from NXT, where she was Jakara Jackson, part of Metaphor. Vicky managed a little bit of offense at the start, but was quickly forced to go on the defense. A minute later, the bell was rung and Sade's hand was raised after hitting Vicky with the finisher. We then got Joe Hendry, who was summoned from a refrigerator by Ren Sinclair, who we know as Matty Rinkowski on last week's episode of NXT. Joe popped up and is going to challenge Charlie Dempsey to a match, which happens tomorrow night on NXT. We also got to see Javon Evans, the young OG, make the challenge to TNA champ Trick Williams, that if he beats Trick, Javon will face NXT champ Obafemi. Moose walked out right after the challenge and told Trick that Moose will be synonymous with whooping that Trick come Emergence. This prompted NXT's Dark State, who we got to see at the last TNA pay-per-view. They attacked Oba, Javon, Trick, and Moose, and in doing so, a eight-man tag match was greenlit on NXT also for tomorrow night. We then go to the TNA Women's World Title match between Ash by Elegance and TNA Women's Champion JC Jane. Just as this match started to get going, with Ash gaining the upper hand, former TNA Women's Champ Masha Slamovich rushed the ring attacking Ash by Elegance and in turn costing JC the match. From here, everything fell apart as the remaining members of both Fatal Influence came out. Fatal Influence and the Elegance brand came out to aid their stablemates. Brookside and Lei Ying also came out, followed by the Inspiration. The Elegance brand and Fatal Influence were quickly thrown from the ring. We then get a video package with the Hardy Boys. Matt says that they're looking forward to who their opponents will be at Emergence, and Jeff says that they are building a tag team legacy that will be immortalized. So I'm curious as to what goes on there. They are also double champs at this time. They're also the Fourth Rope tag champions, which is, I can't remember the hip hop artist's name, but they also have Enzo Amore is involved with that, or Real One, or whatever in the hell.
Yeah, Real One, yeah.
We then get Santino, who comes out and made some match announcements, with the first being that there will be a match for the International Championship between Jake Something and Steve Macklin at Emergence. And it will be a no DQ, no countout match. And that was redundant.
Yeah.
But whatever, it should be a good match, I think. We'll also get a 4-way match for the women's tag team titles, with the Elegance brand defending against Fatal Influence, Lei Ying Lee, or Zia Brookside and Lei Ying, and the Inspiration. And then he calls out the Nemeth brothers and tells them that they will not be facing the Hardys at Emergence due to their attack and injury on not only the hometown man, but also 2 security personnel. They are suspended and ineligible to use their rematch clause. The Hardys will instead be facing the Rascals at Emergence, but Ryan Nemeth will be in action, as the hometown man will seek some revenge against Ryan Nemeth.
Oh.
And on a side note, Santino is completely the fuck over with the TNA crowd. I honestly think that man could just fart into the mic and they would pop.
MLP too.
What's that?
MLP as well. Like he's so over, and well, he's Canadian, right?
Yeah.
But he's so over there that like he gets cheered like it was Hulk Hogan in 1986. You know?
Yeah. It's nuts. It really is. We then cut to the main event match with Mustafa Ali versus Joe Hendry. This is the first time these two have faced each other, and they did not disappoint. The crowd was still fired up, and considering this was quite possibly at least the second main event that they had seen for this taping, that speaks volumes, because they were fired up the entire show. Hendry had control for the first few minutes of the match before getting distracted by members of Order 4, allowing Mustafa to hit Joe with a dive to the outside and gain control. Hendry then was able to turn the tide when he caught Ali as Ali came off of the second turnbuckle for that DDT, but Hendry was able to reverse that into a suplex. From here, members of Order 4 started getting involved in the ring and quickly being tossed out by Joe. None of them were able to land anything on him, so the bell never got rang or anything. Situations like that, I just kind of, what are you going to do, you know? Ali pump kicked the giant Secret Service guy who I've now found out is named Agent Zero. But but he kicked him off the ring apron as Agent Zero went to grab Joe Hendry, who was in the corner. But Joe was able to duck out just in time. Hendry then caught Mustafa with a swinging net breaker and then looked to finish the job. He hoisted Ali up and drove him to the mat with a standing ovation. The count was cut short, however, when campaign manager Tasha Steeles pulled the rep out by her ankle to the mat. And this is one where I wish the camera hadn't been showing, because she didn't hit hard enough to say, yeah, she's out cold. But commentary tried to sell it that way.
Okay.
The Great Hands got into the ring and hit Hendry with their finisher, the Favor, which is a fireman's carry flipping neck breaker. The setup, though, to get Joe in position and Ali to climb to the top rope for the 50 or for the 450 was enough time for Hendry to recover. Hendry was able to hit Mustafa with a power bomb and make the cover. The crowd counts to 3. The crowd counted to 3, but the ref was still out on the floor. A new ref came to the ring and got to 2 before Ali got his shoulder off the mat. Hendry fired up and got the crowd going, was looking for the standing ovation again, but Tasha once again got involved and grabbed his leg. This in turn got the attention of the ref, and while he was distracted, Ali sent Joe to the outside where the Giant Secret Service member Agent Zero delivered a big boot and threw a lifeless Hendry back into the ring. Ali again climbed to the top turnbuckle and this time was successful in hitting the 450 and got the 3 count. The action between Ali and Hendry was great. A lot of moving parts that went into this match, though. That was my downside to it, and it was a big downside for it. Just too much to try and keep up with. A lot of nonsensical shit, like 4 guys running to the damn ring. Granted, there wasn't contact, but come on, man. Like, just almost got to be a hat on a hat on a hat, it felt. Overall, I'll give this show a C plus, maybe a B minus. C plus I'm leaning more towards, though. It was good. The crowd was into it, and I think that's the big thing there. The crowd that was in attendance was completely invested in the entire show from beginning to end. The energy with them was high from start to finish. They popped in all the right spots. TNA is I don't want to say TNA is back, but TNA is making great strides. I've read a lot of stuff online, and wrestling fans are wrestling fans, and we're a fickle bunch. We're hard to please.
Yeah.
Our silver's always our silver lining is always a bit tarnished. So we're very pessimistic, I think, in a lot of ways. This partnership between the WWE and TNA, it's still in its infancy. I look forward to seeing bigger things down the road, especially as the WWE is upping their profile across multiple forms of ways to watch them. So I think it's just a matter of time before TNA is involved more in those pay-per-views, as we're currently seeing the WWE be involved a lot in their pay-per-views.
Right.
If you're not watching TNA and all of its affiliated products, I don't think that they have any other affiliated products. But well, that it may not be your cup of tea. I'm not going to piss in it for you. You like what you like. Have fun with it. I'm enjoying TNA right now, though, you goofy fuckers.
I do what I want.
I do what I want.
Thank you, sir. As always, I appreciate it. Total Nonstop, Jeremy.
That's me.
I see you changed your name to that. That's awesome. Did you get the actual handle yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Let's take it.
I'm not that close with Carlos Silva yet. I'm working on it. He requires a handshake and a hot dog. It's an odd trade-off. I usually want the hot dog and the handshake, but this guy's fucking wanting it.
I mean,
he doesn't like all beef hot dogs, and that's all I can find out here.
That's what it's got to be. You know, you got to bring your own mustard too.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I appreciate you as always. Dave, you're gonna anchor the show. You're gonna take us home in a segment we call "I Respect You, Booker Man." The NWA needs to recognize title changes when they happen. Dave, tell me about it.
Well, it's one of these things of you can have stuff taped, but if something happens, they can always insert into programming or put it on their social networks, put it on YouTube. I mean, kayfabe, for all intents purposes, is dead. We know what happens minutes after it happens. It's not going to go back to the way it was. And in my opinion, the NWA needs to acknowledge title changes when they happen, anywhere and anytime. Not just, oh, hey, there's a title change at the Crockett Cup and this is what happened, or the anniversary show. Don't just make it be the big four. That Crockett Cup, the anniversary show, Hard Times, and Sawin. It can happen at a territory show. I mean, how do you think Alex Taylor won? He won from Joe Alonzo at a house show.
Yeah.
Because Alonzo was moving on, so they had to do a switch. In this day and time, I mean, you have a phone right here. It has a camera. It can take video. Even if they do still pictures, do some pictures of this happened. It doesn't have to be the whole match. It can be, hey, so-and-so showed up and challenged so-and-so, and the champion lost. We have a new champion. In this day and time, with the way everything is instantaneous, it just has to be, you have to make it real. It has to be in as close to real time as possible. And like I've said before, I'm willing to give the NWA 4 to 6 weeks leeway. If you do a taping every 4 to 6 weeks, that's cool. If you film the signature live events, you don't have to show everything. You can do highlight shows. Take a 3 to 4 hour show and knock it down to 2 45-minute shows. You don't have to show the whole match. You use Alyssa to do a highlight show of territories. That if you don't have enough quality matches to show for Power, once every 5 weeks, do a territory update show. Or do a show of, hey, we've got this signature live event coming up. The anniversary show is coming up. These are the matches that are happening. It's one of these things that when you spoil things, it's not like people don't know they've already happened. That if something is more than a week old, spoil away.
Right.
In my personal opinion. And I mean, like I said, you have the big four signature live events, Hard Times, the Crockett Cup, the Anniversary Show, and Saw Win. They're all about 2 to 3 months from each other. I mean, Saw Win's coming up in 2 months from the Anniversary Show. So, I mean, you use it. Do highlight shows after the big four. I don't care if it's out of sync. I just want to know what happens. Because having to wait 2 to 3 months to find out somebody is no longer champion or we have a new champion, back in the day, back in the 80s and early 90s, before the internet was what it is today, that's fine. But I mean, come on, guys. Do better.
Yep.
I mean, it's like, Billy, you're a rock star. You have these songs that you write, but until it's released to radio, those songs don't exist. You can't tell me that you don't play songs that are album cuts at your concert, because I've been to a concert of the Smashing Pumpkins. I've been to 2 actually. And he'll play some album cuts that were never on radio. But if you're a Smashing Pumpkins fan, you know about it because you have the full album, or you have the full CD, or you've downloaded those songs. Just be better.
Right.
And I mean, I saw saying that kayfabe isn't dead. It's up to each individual person. But it's one of these things of, for all intents and purposes, 90% of what happens is put out within minutes of it happening. That, I mean, they just need to do better. They need to figure out, okay, we as the NWA, are we a full-time wrestling organization? We need to do better. I realize, I mean, granted, if Billy didn't own the NWA, who knows where it would be or if it would still be around. But Billy needs to do better. Billy needs to hire somebody that he trusts to run the NWA in his absence. And like I've said before, I'll give him 4 to 6 weeks leeway of what they film and when they show it. But you got to do better. They just have to. If they want to compete, they have to do better.
Right.
And I'm not a religious person, but I pray to whatever entity is above me. Get this through to somebody within the NWA. Get it in their head. I mean, it needs to, I mean, granted, you have a lot of old school people working for the NWA, and they know how it was back in the old days. But they have to realize things change. It went from records to cassettes. There were 8 tracks in between. There were CDs. There were mini discs. Now there's MP3s. There's WAV files. There's all these different types. You have to change with the times. Granted, vinyl is making a comeback, but it's not what it once was in its heyday. If you want to compete, you have to do better. If you don't want to compete, just keep doing what you're doing, and you'll get what you get. You'll have 200 people at your events, 300, 400, 500. If you go to a place that has 1,000, cool. You probably want to run all your shows in Dothan, Alabama, because there's nothing else happening there.
Right.
You got to pick and choose. You can't have the best of both worlds. You have to step up or step out. And I'm just hoping somebody is listening that wants to make the step forward. It's always one step forward, two steps back. Granted, the Roku deal is brand new. I'm hoping it works out, but it still has to be better than what it once was.
The problem is, I think, in the end right now, is that, this is Patrick Moore said, oh, I follow Joe Galley. Maybe I can email him for his scoop. Is that in times when we've conversed with guys like Joe, which is, like the NWA Hall of Fame, that, I forget how many signatures we got on that. Restore the Hall of Fame. It just came back as, we don't own that. And, it's not that they don't listen, I don't think, in the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's that they're doing their own thing, and there's one guy at the top and one voice. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Some comments for you up here. Yeah. Rest in peace, kayfabe. Fuzzy said, I still believe. Fuzzy said something in the Discord, to which, if you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the doobly-doo, the other day, and he's one of the most thoughtful guys that I've met in the Alliance, but about how, I think it was WWE Unreal, and how this kind of stuff just kills kayfabe for him. And kayfabe is what makes wrestling, trying to maintain that level of illusion that I think is required. I couldn't agree more. But when it comes to this kind I didn't know you were still here. No, it's all good, man. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, Dave, you're right. It's Unreal doesn't work anyways. But it's a matter of you've got to tell us if it's 3 months old right now, and
yeah.
I hope with we're seeing, hey, Marty Bell is your new Exodus Women's Champion. Here's the website updated, and here's the poster for Sam Hain, Salwin in October now. That maybe they have listened. Maybe they have listened to the people who have inevitably got to be talking like us to say, you need to do better. And I hope it's positive, and I hope it's a good sign, and I hope that you're right in the end. I appreciate you. Thank you, Dave, as always. I had a terrible week, as I said earlier in the broadcast. I promise you that next week I will give away the Larry Zbyszko's autobiography. Well, I won't. The Midnight Reader will. And this kid's belt that he signed, I have the certificate of authenticity. Larry Zbyszko, your living legend right there. Live on this broadcast. You got to be here to win it. You're going to answer some Larry Z trivia, so have your Google machine ready. I meant to do it this week, but this was not the week to get around to this kind of thing. Yeah, man, the living legend.
Real quick,
yes,
since we're talking about autobiographies and also works, Karrion Kross is dropping a book, Life is Fighting, I believe is the title of it. That looks to be like it'll be pretty interesting. Kross is quite the interesting individual, both in and out of the ring. So I'm looking forward to that one. I haven't read wrestling autobiography in a while. The next one I was going to read was going to be Brian Solomon's Gorilla Monsoon book.
Yep, that's awesome.
But I want to read this Karrion Kross one as well. And by the way, the reason why I said, speaking of works, I believe that whole thing is a fucking work.
You think the cutting the contract is a work?
Yeah, he was so on his. So I watched some of his live stream last night.
Yeah,
on his YouTube channel. If it's not a work and they are parting ways, it's in the most amicable way I've ever seen, and they sent him out on with the spotlight shining on him very brightly, and provided him with footage from fan signings and shit. That's WWE footage, by the way, to use on his channel. I mean, I think he could possibly go to TNA for a little bit with WWE subsidizing the pay.
That's interesting. Yeah, then they just kind of everybody laughs and there he is.
Yeah, because he's not going to go to AEW because Scarlett and him have issues with the one piece of shit Canadian I've ever came across in Don Callis.
There's lots of piece of shit Canadians. Don't worry.
You're the example that I have that I know personally. So you and Raluca, you guys are shining examples of Canadians. So
no, you're very kind. You're very kind. I'll tell her you said that. She might be listening. Fuzzy said, did they just decide the storyline? What they did with the guy a couple of months ago too, R-Truth or whoever it was.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah,
there's still some Vinnie Mac DNA left in the WWE that I think they're finding hard to shake off with like the R-Truth thing and this. So I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed with them. They brought back the pisser, so.
You know, they dropped the ball so much on Cross, and
yeah,
you know, everyone laughed at the helmet a few years ago. I still can't get that guy with hair. I don't know. Shave his head, do the head again. Do I watch Big Brother Canada? No, I'm an adult. I have not had cable in like, I don't know, a decade now anyway. I stream everything, so it's probably on there somewhere. But no, God, no. If you put the word Canada after a show, that show immediately sucks as well. So.
Oh, fuck.
It's true. It's true. I don't know why. Dave, I'm going to go back to you one last time here. Patrick Moore, I know NWA financially can't have fast taping turnarounds because of venue costs. It's possible. Scooby, my other knock on the NWA is a lack of synergy with the territories. How would you go and fix that? Then we'll go.
Well, I mean, like I've said before, I mean, if you're using people from the territories and you're bouncing back and forth between NWA talent and territory talent, send Mims out. He's your national champion.
Fuck yeah.
Figure out a schedule and send him out over a 6-week, 8-week period to defend that title at all your territories. And have somebody there with a camera. And when I say camera, it's a phone.
We've all got studio quality cameras now.
Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. Have some footage. You don't have to show the whole match, but I mean, hell, when we've gone to events, I mean, Sam has videotaped from his seat. Jay, I've sat there. I take pictures as they come in and some video as they come in the entryway.
Yeah,
and it's high quality off of a phone.
It looks good. Yeah.
So you don't have to have the whole match, but have them out there and have somebody specifically working with the company out there with a phone or something, just getting some video of it. And if you can do a 2-minute highlight of this is Mims walking to the ring, this is Mims starting the match, here's a couple moves of his, and here's the pin, and still, or and new, there you have it. It can be done. Use the territories, use some of their footage that they have, and Alyssa does a great job at whatever she does, but use more of her. She doesn't have to actually physically be there. She can be in her studio and have a green screen. Have someone else set up the video. She can then watch the video. It's projected behind her when they put everything together. And there's a 2 to 5 minute segment of Around the Territories with Alyssa.
Yeah.
Here's NWA Around the Territories. It goes on YouTube. It's another 2 to 3, maybe 4 minutes that you can add on to any power showing on Roku. But use what you have. There's already shows that are on YouTube. Use those as highlights. If you're not getting to watch the whole thing, I mean, Jay himself, and we do it sometimes, we'll take a clip of our show, and if you don't want to watch the whole hour and a half of it, this is what we talked about when we talked about Karrion Kross. Here's this part. It's maybe 30 seconds. It's maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. Then if you like what you saw, you can click on the link and watch the whole show.
Right.
They just have to do better.
Yeah, got to do better. That's the hashtag, just do better. We got to go home here as we're going late, but there is an exception to every rule, Fuzzy. The last episode of LOL Canada was phenomenal. This was a great show, primarily in part because of Colin Mockery and Tom Green. That was an excellent version, but everything else within Canada sucks. Anyway, I'm not shitting on my own country. TV, we get your TV. We put Canada at the end. It's garbage. Next week, as I say, the book giveaway and the signed belt for By Hell or High Water. Where can they find you on the social media platforms, Jeremy?
You can find me on Facebook at Jeremy Miller, and I have a Blue Sky account at Alliance Jeremy. I haven't been there in a while.
There's probably like 400 messages. Why doesn't he answer? What about you, Dave?
He's not here, man.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter X. Also over on Blue Sky. I'm there every once in a while, but at Dave Scooby, and hit me up with any questions or ideas you guys may have.
I'm back on Facebook at Tim Wood because Mark Zuckerberg broke my spirit, and I can't. Most importantly, however, at the Alliance blog on all your social media platforms, alliance-wrestling.com, your number one source for news and information for the National Wrestling Alliance. Join us every Thursday. Not us, the actual Alliance guys. 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 p.m. Pacific. And whatever the hell that is, Jeremy's time, God knows. No one knows what that time zone is. For the Alliance Guys podcast. With what? Six. It
starts at 6 for me. Mountain Daylight time.
I knew what it was. I was just busting your balls. But the Alliance Guys podcast that's Jay, that's DKM, that's Jaden. Sometimes it's Double D. Sometimes it's the Professor Rick Del Santo. It's one. Sometimes it's one of us get to sit in. It's very cool. And every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. That's the pre-party with Jay Cal himself, the hour before Power, where Jay runs down. Yeah, too sweet to be sour, baby.
Yep.
All the great Canadians come here and steal the show. Yes, they do. That's it. That's all. Until next time, leave the back door of the arena open, and we'll see you at the matches.
Thanks for joining the stream. This has been a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com. We genuinely appreciate your support. Would you consider subscribing so you'll never miss a future episode? I'd also like to remind you we do a live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. before NWA Power. You can find us on social media at The Alliance Blog. And until next time, we are The Alliance.